Hi guys, welcome back to Manifest with Armine. My name is Armine and I'm a law of attraction consultant. This video is about how I found my purpose, I guess you could call it. And this was a question, again, posted in the comment section of a previous video. It said, I think it was the one on how I overcame depression. And that question was, how did I find my purpose from coming out of that phase of my life? So, it's funny because when you see something from the outside, like someone's life experience from the outside, it's easier in some ways to, pinpoint the process. When you're looking in retrospect of your own experience, it's a little different. Like I have to stop and think about it because it happens so naturally, and it happens in a way that when you're asking for something, like when you're asking for your purpose to show up, what is my purpose in life? What am I meant to do? And when you're in that asking mode, it's really like there's not much clarity, right? Because you're asking from seeing the contrast, from just noticing that it's not there. I don't know what I'm doing. So first of all, you drop the inner conversation of, I don't know what I want to do with my life. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. So anything like that, just stop saying that to yourself over and over again, and stop feeling bad about it, and just stop being that person who is in that place of not knowing. You can not have received the answer yet, but not be, like Abraham says, beating the drum of not knowing yet. So just by replacing that conversation of, I don't know what to do with my life, I don't know what I'm here for, I don't know what my purpose is, I don't know what I want to do, I don't know how I want to make money doing it, just replace those with, I am ready. I'm ready to allow the answer of what I can be doing now to show up. And it's never what you should be doing now. There's really never a should. It's always, the only way to guide yourself through this is to do what feels good to you. Because when you're in a place of alignment with who you are and with your inner being, and what I mean by that is just that you're feeling pretty good about yourself. And I don't mean you're happy-go-lucky every day. You don't have to be in that state, but just that you're pretty much at peace. You've made peace with where you are right now. And if from that point you just follow whatever interests you, like it doesn't really matter, don't see everything as like a big commitment, because that's what I used to do. I used to see it as, I don't want to do this right now, because like when an opportunity came, I'd be like, I don't want that because that's not what I want to do for the rest of my life. Or I'd say that's not me. Or I'd make a bunch of excuses, because, they were logical reasons why I shouldn't do it, even if it was out of like, just like, I couldn't get myself to whatever, enough connections, whatever, any excuse, just to not jump into something because I didn't see how that was actually going to be what I want to do for the rest of my life, And when you see things that way, it's very tricky, because when you see something as so permanent, then you're very afraid of making a mistake. But there are no mistakes, because nothing you do is actually going to be permanent. Everything you do is going to lead you to the next step. So answer to the call of your heart, basically. Follow your bliss, like Joseph Campbell said. Just whatever kind of interests you, and kind of, this is like, I've been like totally on this, like Marie Kondo's like, spark joy, does this spark joy, in a moment? And if it does, regardless of what people say, follow it, do something that leads you down that path a little bit. And that might be the path that leads you to your purpose. That might be your purpose, or it'll lead you to something else that will lead you to a purpose. But if you don't follow your bliss, like things that interest you naturally, then you're not going to find your purpose. So the best way to avoid your purpose for your life in this moment, at least your current purpose, let's say, the best way to avoid that is to do what you think you should be doing and not following what brings you joy. Okay. At the time where I was at this part of my life where I was like really like coming out of like a big foggy mess, I guess, for like 10 years, And I had my real estate license because I knew that I was interested in, I loved homes. I loved, beautiful architecture. I loved just the whole process of people buying homes. I loved that. Um, at the same time, I had like, my paradigm around sales was like so not for being a salesperson. And I thought, oh, it's an agent, I'm not a salesperson. But no, you are as a salesperson. And especially when you're working in real estate, I'd say with most companies that I experienced working with, it's even when there's a lot of money being made, there's a shortage consciousness. So the people who I had, clearly because I was aligned with this, the first office I chose to work with, there were things that appealed to me about it. There were things about it that appealed to me, which is why I chose to work with that place. However, once I was in it, because I was shortage consciousness, that's what I was on the frequency of. The people around me also had that they were on that same frequency. So even though they were making money or they had made money in the past selling real estate, it was very much a competitive environment behind kindness, like behind like politeness and friendliness. It was competitive in a way that was kind of run by fear, it was sparked by fear instead of by joy. And that's something that I must have been aligned with, but it didn't feel good to me. So I had a hard time focusing on real estate and the aspects I like about it, because I just felt like I was not out of that funk about money and the way I was afraid of not being able to make money on my own, because that was one of the things that I guess people thought, or I thought, would have kept me in my marriage from when I was younger, that staying married keeps you supported. And if you're not, and you're not the main breadwinner, then, well, I got to figure out what to do on your own, and you have a kid. And so anyway, that was my experience of the story. However, once I got more deep into real estate, I was telling myself, I'm doing real estate, but honestly, doing real estate for me just meant browsing houses and then just researching law of attraction stuff online and applying law of attraction stuff. Oddly enough, of course, because I was not anywhere on that frequency of actually making money, I was not making money with real estate. I wasn't applying it to real estate. I was applying it to how I manifested my relationship. And I was just so interested in my new relationship, my current relationship, and this was 8 years ago. And I was focused more on like, wow, okay, so I want to learn more about how this process goes. I want to learn more about how our thoughts create our reality. I want to learn more about Neville's teachings. I wanted to really, really understand it, inside out. And I didn't know I was going to be doing this, like as in teaching other people. I just knew that like I was like immersed in it. I just I wasn't interested in really doing anything else. So I was a homebody, and I was just, I'd take my daughter to school, I'd come home, and I was on this law of attraction thing. So, and then one day it occurred to me, actually, I always wanted to write a book. I love writing, I love creative writing. And there was, of course, the idea of writing an ebook, having it on Amazon, because it's so easy to publish your own book on Amazon. And then someone I know, through an acquaintance of an acquaintance, said that they had published a book on Amazon, an ebook on Amazon, and I kind of felt like, wait a second, I wanted to do that, and I realized, wait a second, why am I not doing this? I wanted to do this a long time ago. So, of course, the story that I had to tell was how I manifested my soulmate relationship using the law of attraction information that I had learned. So it was a short book. I just wrote it, within, a week or something like that. And I put it together and I put it on Amazon. And from that point on, I kind of felt like, okay, I was open for questions. And then I knew that if everyone had this information, it would help so much. Like, so many people want this information, and I know they can do it. I know they can apply it. And I became pretty much a source for information. And, how does that not feel good to show people how to exactly change the way they're thinking and feeling to have that relationship they want, because so many people are looking for that relationship, or in a relationship that they're not happy in. So that's just naturally how it happened. It just so happened that the process that I was learning about and using was the process that other people, wanted to learn. So the law of attraction ended up being what I was teaching. But this happened by me just being open to an answer. I wasn't out there like looking for things like, what's my purpose? What's my purpose? I just became open to it at one point because I was thinking, what am I focusing on that I'm doing here? Like, I'm supposed to be doing real estate right now. That's what I say I'm doing. And I like real estate, as in I like homes, but that's not what I was spending my time doing. I was spending my time learning more and experimenting more with the law of attraction. And that's how I found my purpose, or my current purpose, because as life goes on, we can have different purposes. It can develop into other things, and it can branch off into something else. But yeah, this is how I came to become a law of attraction coach consultant, and I decided to do it the most authentic way. There are so many things that I do differently that not the way most coaches do it, because I don't do the same marketing. I don't do that funnel system that they say every coach has to do to be successful, because I kind of like to go, I guess, against the against the crowd. Like if someone says you have to do it this way or you won't succeed, then that turns me off from it. So and that's what feels good to me. And so same thing with, if you're looking for your purpose, do what feels good to you, regardless of what anybody else says, because the noise inside, the voice inside your mind needs to be stronger than the voices outside. Because there are no voices outside. The voices outside are only a reflection of your inner voice that is dominating at that time. So even though your heart might be saying, I want to do this, the voices in your own mind that say, no, don't do this because it's not going to work out. You can't make money doing this. You'll never be good at this. That's what's being reflected by other people saying it to you, because that's just the logic society goes by. And that's where you're going to hear that coming back to you. So when you hear that, if you hear that from other people, just remind yourself, wait a second, why am I hearing this? What do I have in my own belief that I'm hearing it from other people? So hopefully that helped. Again, I babble and babble, but that was my experience. And that's the advice I have for anyone who is looking for their purpose. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please click like. If you'd like to subscribe and you haven't done so yet, please do so. This channel is all about the law of attraction, and if you're interested in my consulting services, I always have my website linked down below, and I'm happy to answer any questions you have. If you guys have any questions about this topic or any experiences you'd like to share, please do so down below, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.